Hi everyone, my name is Tyler Bennett and I own Amara Day Spa, Salon Boutique with my wife Lee. And I also do some other businesses, so real estate, investments, kind of financial planning, lending, insurance. And today I want to talk a little bit about what I do outside of Amara and what those businesses are and some of the details behind that, but also how we bring some of my knowledge and experience into Amara and hopefully have some added benefit for the employees here to help them learn a little bit more about some of those areas in addition to what they're experts at here inside of Amara. So to start with, I want to talk a little bit about my current business experience. And it really starts with making an impact in people's lives from a financial standpoint. What I've found is many people don't have the knowledge or expertise in the financial area in order to plan appropriately or know where to invest or what to do with their money. And oftentimes they're not even clear with where they're currently at and where they're headed and what that looks like. So one of the main areas where I focus and that I enjoy the most is really taking the time to do what I call like a game plan. Meaning, somebody could come to me and say, hey, I'm interested in investing in real estate, and I could just go out and show them properties, but I think I'm doing them a disservice if I don't take the time to say, okay, wait, let's look and see what does your current financial picture look like? What are your goals? What assets do you have to work with right now? What are your short-term goals, long-term goals? What's your risk tolerance? What are you trying to accomplish, and what does that mean for you? And by accomplishing that, what does that enable you to do? And there's so many different factors involved in just showing somebody an investment property. Because if I can learn where they're at today, where they want to get to, I can help them with that journey and I can customize it to them and I can maybe show them a different type of product. Or maybe it doesn't make sense to actually go buy investment real estate today. Maybe it makes more sense to do a cash out refinance on their primary residence and pay off some higher debt and improve their cash flow that way. So it's really important to me to really spend the time analyzing where they're at to determine what the next steps are. And it's a lot more detailed than just going and buying a piece of real estate. So I really taken upon myself to try to figure out and really understand insurance and lending and other types of investments, whether it's investing in the market or annuities or investment grade insurances or all the different options out there, so that as we're looking at somebody's portfolio, I can educate them as much as possible, so when they make decisions and they move forward, they feel really confident about it. Part two of this is how does that spill over into Amara? And how do I take what I've learned over there and insert that into Amara? And I have a lot of fun with this because the majority of our employees are 18 to 35-year-old women in different areas and stages of their life, but many of them don't have the knowledge and expertise in this area because that's not where they've spent their time and it's not where they've trained. And oddly enough, a lot of people come up through the system of public education and parents and with their parents, and they're kind of financially illiterate. They don't necessarily understand how all of this works and how it impacts them and the decisions they make today, how it impacts their future. And so I get to do lots of trainings at Amara, whether it's Credit 101 and how credit works, and how different scores are going to impact your ability to borrow and how much it's going to cost you over your lifetime if you don't maintain and manage your credit, versus Mortgage 101. I just helped one of our Amara employees and her husband get into their first home just last week, actually. They bought a new house in Lehigh, and it was really fun to go through that process with them. We've been talking for years and helping plan that, and to see them make the appropriate, save enough money for down payment so they're not stretched super thin, and being able to buy a house that they actually could have qualified for much more, but then that wouldn't have fit inside their budget. They wouldn't have been able to continue to save for investments or college education or whatever the case is. And so we really created that plan, and then we went out and helped them find a house. And we were able to find a house with a basement apartment, and so now they're owning real estate and they have their own house with their own garage and own yard for cheaper than they were renting. So it's really satisfying for me to be able to do that for some of our employees. We've also inserted investing and talking about the time value of money and budgeting. I enjoy helping a lot of our employees with budgeting, and so often we get caught up in the moment of today and we don't realize that how expensive those Starbucks runs really are, or eating out, or whatever the case is. And if I can break it down for them and show them, look, if you were to take that $7 a day that you're spending, that's just gas station and Starbucks. I like to pick on Starbucks because it's easy, but that you're spending that you didn't necessarily have to spend, and if you were to put that into some sort of IRA or 401k or mutual fund or investment account, look at the power of doing that for 20, 30 years. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars that cup of coffee or that rock star at Maverick is really costing you. And so I like to insert that into just the conversations here, and I think the better we understand how all of that works, the more successful we can be in life and in our businesses. If we understand numbers and the impact that our decisions make with numbers, then, for example, here we have a compensation plan and a career path for all of our employees, and the better they understand that and the numbers and how that applies, the more successful they're going to be. The more they can grow their business, the better areas they know where to focus on their business and what numbers to track so that they can grow and be more successful and have more satisfied guests. In addition, that can spill over into life, and the more successful that they're going to be. Because with all of this, for me, it's never about how much money can I accumulate or how much money can I make. It's more about, can I put myself in a better financial position to where, one, I don't have to stress about it, but two, I can then allocate that time I would spend stressing or agonizing over the financial decisions of life, and I can use that time better spent towards whatever my passions are and make a better contribution to society. So hopefully that's just a little bit of information that kind of helps you and leads you into kind of a little bit of what I do and my life outside of Amara, but how I get to integrate those, and it's super satisfying for me to be able to help clients on either side, whether they're clients or they're employees at Amara, and have a positive impact on their lives. Thanks for joining.